Welcome back to another episode of Presley's Pod. Here's the thing. It's currently nighttime when I'm recording this, and by nighttime I mean 7 p.m. And 7 p.m., you lost me. I'm much more of a morning girl. I'm much more of a wake up, get it done, etc. So you're looking at tired Presley. Might even say exhausted Presley, okay? I started my job that I always do during this time of year, and I just forgot that it really takes it out of you. And if you haven't noticed, I forgot that wearing makeup every day, my skin does not like that. No, Presley, you look so beautiful. Thank you. No, my skin has really been struggling, and it's like you either wear natural makeup and your makeup looks bad and it falls off, it falls off your face, or you wear the good makeup that stays on all day, but your skin might break out. It's like we can't win. But if you don't wear makeup, then you look like you're not put together. So you have to wear the makeup, okay? You have to do the setting spray, or else it's like, what's wrong with you? Are you sick? Or did you not prepare for the day? Or are you late? Or are you lazy? So that's the vibe that we're going with today, okay? I want to update everyone on the man situation. There is still no one because I haven't been going out. I've been busy. I've been very, very busy. And when I do have time, I want to lay in my bed or go get a massage or go get a sweet treat, okay? I do not want to spend any sort of free time at a bar or at a restaurant or talking to people that aren't my friends, okay? But I don't know, maybe the OG Presley's Pod listeners remember this story. I don't think I ever told the full story, but I hinted at what happened. I went on a date, very nice, like members club. The whole time he was looking right past my face at all the girls behind me. He started freaking out when Ryan Seacrest walked in, and I was like, well, then ask Ryan out on a date. Like, can I go, please? I really don't want to be here. This was months ago. And he followed me on Instagram and we went on the first date, and then I said, like, hey, this is not this is not going to work for me. But a week ago, no, maybe even a couple of days ago, he followed me on Instagram, and it's like, what goes through these man's brains when they're like, oh, well, I'll just like hit her with a follow, and then maybe she'll follow me, and then like we'll rekindle. Like, I don't understand why you want to follow me. I mean, I'm flattered, but I just don't understand. So I just ignored it and didn't follow him back because I only follow people that I want to follow. And if someone follows me and I say, you know what, I'm not going to follow that person, I'm not going to follow that person. I'm not going to feel bad for not following that person. And we all remember that I'm a huge fan of the Instagram mute button. So if there's someone that you're seeing and you say, I can't unfollow this person because they're going to find out, and unfortunately I have to see them every day, you can hit the mute button and then you don't have to see their stuff, and then you'll end up just kind of forgetting that they exist. Okay, so I do think that I need to force myself to go out. Like, I do, it's so busy. And I in the like work versus play episode, I kind of touched on this where I kind of get into work mode and then I don't let myself be a human outside of work. But I do think that we all need that for like our mental health. If you can see that I'm in shambles, I probably need a night like away from work. But maybe I will challenge myself to go out more. With what time, you ask? I don't know, but I do feel bad. I do need to bring Presley's Pod listeners a good current story, so I'll work on that. But speaking of men, both of my friends, the men that they're seeing, they're both sick at the same time. And that's fine. But the thing is, like, we push through the sickness, okay? We push through. And one of them texted my friend and said, I'm I can't even say it because we like him, we do like him, but if someone said this to me, I would be like, no, you lost me there, babe. He said that he didn't sleep well and that he woke up with the sniffles. The sniffles. A 30-year-old man has me 33 has the sniffles, so he decided to cancel on my friend. And that's okay. She can't get sick because that means she'll get me sick and I don't want to get sick. But, so unfortunately there's no updates with them, but so far so good. I don't know. Oh, one of them with one of my friends, he made plans and then canceled because he forgot his cousin was in town. What do we think about that? How do you forget that your cousin's coming to town? Does the cousin stay with you? Does the cousin not stay with you? Did the cousin just randomly pop into town? I don't know. Something's feeling a little fishy. Anyway, I obviously, this is going to be just a chaotic episode of me throwing things at you, but something that I did last week that really, really helped my brain, especially going into this crazy work job situation, I did a deep clean of my room and my closets. And when I say closets, I'm not living in luxury, okay? I have two teeny tiny NYC closets that were packed to the brim. And I said, we have got to handle this. I even organized paperwork and toiletries and random drawers that I don't touch. And the minute that I organized all of that stuff and I gave away or threw out. Honestly, most of the stuff just needed to be thrown out. Things that I wasn't wearing, I immediately felt like a more organized, better, positive person. I swear, my spine, I was walking like straight up and down, okay, with good posture because I felt so organized and just on top of my life. So, as we're approaching fall and as we're approaching the new time of year when we start to transition our closets anyway, I think we should all do that because then you start shopping for fall and you're shopping for winter and you see a cute turtleneck online, you go to put it in your closet and you realize that you have two in the same color, okay? We're starting to be bombarded with ads and you need these new boots and you need this new jacket. Like, just take a second, pause, go through the closet, do a deep clean, figure out what you need, what you don't need, and I promise you, you will feel much better about your life as a whole. It's October. It's October, okay? We have October, November, December, and then it's 2026. That is crazy to think about. And so I kind of want to talk about both sides of these last 3 months, right? So the first way that I see these last 3 months is let's lock in. Like, you have 3 months before the new year. I'm a big New Year's person. If you couldn't tell, I love to plan the year, write down goals, etc. So if you're that person, listen to this, and if you're not that person, fast forward a little bit. But let's lock in. What can you do with these last 3 months to set yourself up for success, to even just start your 2026 goals? Like, what prep work do you need to do to get yourself ready to attack 2026? I also think you could approach it as, okay, I have 3 months. Let's just try stuff and see what sticks. Like, send a cold email, ask someone for coffee, make new connections, start putting out more content, more ideas, putting more of yourself out there in whatever aspect that means. But if you have something that you want and you are getting it done within the year, do not let these last couple months where it's the holidays and nothing matters and yada, yada, yada. Like, you can still lock in. You don't have to kind of bounce down to others' energy if they're like going on vacations and they have work breaks, etc. Not everyone has like that typical 9 to 5 where you can take breaks. So if you don't have that, you kind of have a blessing in disguise where you can just, what's the phrase? Pound the pavement to your own drum, beat to the rhythm of your own drum, and really use this time to set yourself up for success for 2026, right? And I think too, this year can get stressful when you're thinking about all of the social gatherings and people that you have to see and things that you have to do. And you're like, okay, but I still want to. I love the phrase lock in. So I'm going to keep saying it. I if you're like, okay, but I still have a ton of stuff that I want to do for myself personally, learn to say no to things and learn to not let this time of year stress you out. Okay. And just because you get invited to things doesn't mean you have to go. If you'd prefer to stay home and work on your business, or you'd prefer to go home early and go to the gym the next morning, do that. Don't feel any sort of peer pressure by this time of year when everyone else is kind of like clocking out. You can still, what is it? Lock in, baby, okay? And this is truly the time of the year to start again prepping for 2026. Like, I have a lot that I want to handle before the year gets done. And I'm getting a little not stressed. Remember, we don't say stressed here. I'm getting a little excited. I'm more excited about trying to find the time in the day to get it all done, but we can do it. We can do hard things and everything's going to be okay. I think the way to go about this, where you don't feel overwhelmed, like this whole lock in mentality, you can't change your entire life overnight, right? You can't like suddenly become a fitness queen, entrepreneur, millionaire, skincare expert. Okay, so pick 3 things that you want to accomplish before the year's done. So you can look back on this year and be like, boom, bam, did that, done. Again, maybe like cold emailing, being more consistent with your posting, and be maybe even like one of my things is I want to be better with my money around this time of the year, right? I start to kind of get influenced by the ads that I'm seeing, and I start to think, oh, well, we can reset in the new year. Like, no, just be a little bit smarter and learn to say no to things. But truly think about 3 things that if you get those 3 things done by January 1st, big or small, it can truly be anything. That's such an easier way to break down your goals versus trying to change your whole life overnight. And if you're struggling to think of 3 things, think about a goal that you have for 2026, something big that you want to accomplish, and ask yourself, what are 3 things that I can do to prep to start working on that goal during this time? Right? So we're like doing the rough draft before we start to actually go after the goal. Now, on the flip side of that, this can also be for people that maybe they do have a 9 to 5 where they don't have a busy season and then it slows down. And then, if you're doing this same thing every year or throughout the year, this is the time of the year where you start to feel like a little burnt out. You're like, I am so over this. I cannot wait until Christmas break where I can just park it on the couch and eat cookies and call it a day. And that truly is the best as well, especially when you've been working so hard all year. You deserve time off or time to go on vacation. You deserve rest. So, I think when it comes to burnout, you want to make sure that you don't over like jam pack your calendar with the social things. But if you start to notice some signs of burnout, like you're not excited about things anymore, you're tired, you're not sleeping well, you're anxious, here's some things that I do to kind of get out of that funk. um, I think there's a difference between like, well, for me, burnout and kind of like being in a funk where you're just over everything are kind of the same thing to me, because I really truly, really truly, I try not to let myself get to that burnt out point where I need days to recover. I'm very in tune with my body and what I need. And I really know how to say no to things. Okay. I should actually start saying yes to things more. So, if you're starting to feel like your schedule and your day to day is getting like repetitive, and you're feeling very over it and burnt out, and you're like just looking forward to that weird time after Christmas, one thing that I would recommend is doing something completely out of your comfort zone. Go find a new activity to do. Even walking a different way or walking down a different path or going a different way to somewhere, like just mixing up your routine truly will help kind of bring some new energy and a new perspective on your daily routine. And I actually am a big fan of, if you need a bed rot day, take it. If you need to lay on the couch all day and just watch your shows and order food and not think about anything else, take it. But, there's always a but, okay? When you're taking this bed rot day, put the phone away. Because picture this, you're laying on the couch enjoying your time. You're watching TV and you're also watching your phone. And you're scrolling on your phone and you're seeing people out and about doing things at the gym, going out to eat, doing work, whatever they do. And then you'll start to feel guilty or anxious that you've taken that time for yourself. So, bed rot all you want, but put the phone away. And if you're feeling blah, like any female knows that there's a time of the month where we're just feeling blah, where emotions are heightened, we're stressed, we're tired during that, specific time of the month, accept that that's how you're feeling. Like, don't try to force yourself out of it. Accept that that's how you're feeling. Live in that for a while, and then you'll get bored of that feeling and you'll snap out of it. Like that, I truly have felt that in my body of me being, 2 days into, like, I'm so over it, I'm tired, I don't want to do anything, I'm not feeling inspired, just you kind of feel like you're going through the motions. And then something happens on day 3 and you're like, "Oh, suddenly we're back. Like suddenly we're over this. We don't need to kind of be like living in that blah anymore. Like we can turn things around and it's okay to have variety of motivation, emotion, drive throughout the month, right? Because if you're just go, go, go all the time, you're guaranteed to get burnt out. I think when you're feeling like that, make plans for a couple days later. So if you're like, okay, I know I'm going to be kind of in this like rut, and I'm not saying rut like you're laying in bed, like not leaving your house all day. I'm saying like you're just kind of feel like you're going through the motions of life and you're like, okay, this is like, I'm feeling just a little blah. Make plans for a couple days later so that you give yourself enough time to experience that feeling, but then you have something to look forward to when the mood starts to turn around. I also think something that I've really enjoyed doing over this past year, because I've just been single, and but I also really do like to do things by myself. I've really enjoyed going to the movies by myself, especially early morning, midday, early afternoon, when there's not a lot of people there and you can pick your seat and you can park it, and honestly you can bring your own snacks, and that's such a great way to just be in a dark room, escape your life for a second, or watch someone else's life, and no phone. And you know what I'm realizing, I feel like a lot of this is kind of boiling down to the no phone thing. So truly, when you're starting to feel like a little burnt out, a little blah, just check in to make sure that you're not on the phone too much, okay? Another thing is, don't let the cold weather get you down. I think we should make the most out of, depending on where you live, October and November. We should still be pounding the pavement going out, okay? Because you can get away with a light jacket. We don't need to bring the Aritzia Super Puff, right? Because the thing about going out in the winter is, where do you put the jacket? And I usually don't have to experience this because I don't go anywhere where I have to stand and hold the jacket. I go where I can sit down and I know that there's a hook or there's a little coat check, or I can put it on the back of my chair. So make the most out of October and November, because then in December you're like, but I guarantee you, getting out of the house, and this is just me giving myself a pep talk right now, but getting out of the house will truly help with whatever you're going through. The last thing that I want to leave you all with, and I think I've touched on this before. One of my friends, whenever she goes out with a guy, she always kind of feels guilty for how much money they're spending. And it depends on the man, right? In this example, this man could easily afford dinner with her and five other girls in that one night. Okay, we're not worried about it. We're not worried about it. So I think it depends on the type of guy you're working with. But I say this every time. First off, if a man is asking you out, he should pay. Period. End of sentence. I also don't think that as a girl, we should be feeling guilty, right? Because think about everything that goes into you getting ready for the date. All of your, okay, get your calculators out and do this math in your head, okay? Your makeup, all of your makeup, okay? For me, my lash extensions, my teeth whitening, my lip gloss, my hair products, my hair dryer, my rollers, my perfume, my outfit, my shoes, my purse, the Uber that I'm probably taking there, and any other sort of beauty thing that you do to get yourself ready for this date, okay? They get to take a shower, slap on whatever they slap on, put on an outfit and roll out the door, okay? They also, this is more for New York City, they can probably walk or take the train, but we can't walk or take the train in our cute little outfits, right? Yeah, we all know why, because we don't want to get stared at, or you want to wear a cute outfit and you want to wear a heel and you don't want to risk walking around in it, stepping in a grate and tripping and falling, okay? Or doing the subway stairs in a heel, okay? So we're usually taking Uber. So my PSA for the week is do not feel guilty when a man pays for something, okay? If he's offering, take it. Take it. But that does not apply. I will say that does not, at least me personally, that does not apply to a man that you're not in a relationship with. If a man that is not your boyfriend, that is not your husband, is offering to pay for a flight, say no. Or if he's showering you with gifts, decline. Okay? Decline. One, when you travel with a man, you want to be in control of your travel. Anything that you need, you want to know that you paid for it, you can change it, you can get out of there anytime you want. When it comes to gifts, if he has the money to buy you all of those gifts, it probably doesn't mean as much to him as it does to you. Oh, that was good. That was good because you start freaking out over something that he got you, and he's like, this is just a normal Tuesday. Yeah. So we're just going to let that sit for a while. We're just going to let that sit for a while. So, I love you all so much. I'm going to go take care of this skin, take care of this hair, take some melatonin, and go to bed. And I hope you have an amazing week. I will see you next Sunday. And if you ever have any sort of, hmm, I have this conundrum or I want this advice, let me ask Presley from Presley's Pod. Feel free to DM me anytime with any sort of question, and I would love to help you out. Have a great week. Bye.